No matter what anyone said, Indiana had an impressive win over Wisconsin where they had key players play very well. The Hoosiers came out on top 31-7 in Bloomington, keeping their perfect season alive at 11-0. It was a game that started a bit slow for Indiana, and we predicted that would happen. This is a good Wisconsin defense that eventually fades off as the game goes on, but once they found their rhythm, especially in the second half, they dominated this game. This was their home finale, a sold-out Memorial Stadium buzzing with injuries, senior night, all that stuff. Well, senior afternoon, I guess. And the team really fed off that, delivering a performance that showcased why they're ranked number 2 in the country and why they truly are a national title contender. We shouldn't have to say that anymore, but the national media wants to try and discredit them. Lane Kiffin, talking to you. I know you're not national media, but before we do get into the game all that much further, please do like and subscribe to the Big Ten Huddle. Help us create more great content for Indiana football by letting us know that you're watching. We love making videos for every Big Ten team, but Indiana has been exceptional at showing us the most love. Out of any Big Ten football team, Indiana shows us the most love, and that is something we do not take for granted at all. So if it takes me staying up until 12:30 on a Sunday morning to make the content for you, I will, because you guys deliver every time. All right, back to the game. Let's talk about the offense. Fernando Mendoza was surgical in this one with his arm. He was 22 of his 24 passes for 299 yards and 4 touchdowns. I feel like 4 touchdown games are just regular for him now. No interceptions, a passer rating of over 250 is ridiculous efficiency. And get this, those 4 touchdowns pushed him to 30 for the season, breaking the Indiana single season record that Curtis Rourke set last season at 29. Mendoza's not one to chase stats, though he talked after the game about how it's a team effort, crediting the receivers, as he should, in the whole passing game, because those receivers, even with Elijah Surratt out, are very good. Not taking anything away from Mendoza, but those receivers are doing a great job. He's thrown for 4 or more touchdowns in 5 games this year without a pick, and he's completed 73% of his passes overall. Wisconsin linebacker Daryl Peterson said it best: he's a Heisman contender for a reason. That's what he said, word for word, quote right there. Mendoza made tough throws under pressure, escaping sacks a few times, even though he got taken down 5 times, which, could blemish him a little bit, 5 total sacks, but the Hoosiers didn't turn the ball over once, and that's huge. I'd rather take a sack than a turnover any day of the week. The scoring started in the first quarter with a 9-play, 72-yard drive, capped with a 31-yard touchdown pass to Charlie Becker. Becker had a monster day, hauling in 5 catches for 108 yards and a score. He's been on fire lately, leading the receivers for the second straight game, and he's honestly one of my favorite players on the team at this point. Charlie Becker is fantastic. The way he's able to go up and get contested balls is awesome, and he has better route running than I think some people give him credit for. Then, after Wisconsin tied it in the second with a 45-yard touchdown pass of their own, Indiana responded with a field goal from their kicker to go up 10-7 going into half. And some people, screenshots on Twitter, all that stupid stuff. But the real story was the second half adjustments and how they came out ready to dominate in the second half. Coming out of the break, the Hoosiers marched down the field 75 yards in 9 plays, highlighting a 48-yard bomb from Mendoza to Becker on 3rd and 8. That set up a 2-yard touchdown pass to tight end Holden Stays, his second of the season, putting them up 17-7. The defense stepped up big too, forcing a fumble deep in Wisconsin territory. Just one play later, Mendoza hit Riley Nowakowski, a former Badger no less, for a 21-yard touchdown on a crossing route. You can, assure that Nowakowski likes being on the team that he's on now, not his old team. But he poured through a tackle to get in, making it 24-7. He finished with 4 catches for 65 yards and that score. Then in the fourth, Mendoza connected with Omar Cooper Jr. for a 5-yard TD to seal it 31-7, even after coming out of the game for a minute, but he came right back in there, scored a touchdown, and it was fantastic. 7 different receivers have caught touchdowns this year for Indiana, with Cooper and Elijah Surratt leading at 10 each. 14 Hoosiers have receptions overall. Talk about spreading out the wealth on the ground. It wasn't Indiana's biggest rushing day with 83 yards, but Roman Hemby led with 58 yards on 14 carries, and the team averaged a solid 2.2 rush against a tough Wisconsin front. And this Wisconsin front honestly does not get enough credit for how good they are. Some people are going to scoff at that and say yada, yada, yada. Excuse me, but look at some of the teams that have played against Wisconsin this season. They've not been able to run the ball because Wisconsin does excel at stopping the run. They controlled possession at nearly 34 minutes, converting 7 of 12 third downs. Overall, 388 total yards to Wisconsin's 168, and they outgained the Badgers 229 to just 23 in the second half alone. That's outscoring them 21 to nothing after the break. Defensively, Indiana was relentless. They racked up 8 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. Stephen Daly had 3 tackles for loss himself. They limited Wisconsin to just 70 rushing yards and forced 2 turnovers in the second half. That fumble and an interception by D'Angelo Boykin as well. The Badgers managed only 8 first downs all game. Yikes! That's pretty crazy that the Indiana defense was able to do that to them, and just 1 in the second half overall with 23 yards total. Aiden Fisher led with 7 tackles, and the unit as a whole held Wisconsin to 2 of 11 on third downs. It was a masterclass in keeping them behind the chains and forcing 3-and-outs 4 times. This win locks Indiana into the Big Ten title game and pretty much guarantees another college football playoff berth after last year's run. But beyond the field, the program's drawing serious attention from recruits. A bunch of blue chip prospects were there, like 5-star Monsoon Sales from Indiana, who's got IU high on his list, along with other powerhouses like Alabama and Ohio State. We saw Indiana go against Ohio State for a linebacker, Jadaean Williams, and he's sticking with Indiana. So that tells you anything about where this Indiana recruiting is at right now. Ace Alston, a top corner from Ohio, loved the genuine family feel and development focus. Offensive lineman Mason McDermott called it the new standard at IU. Sold out, loud, winning vibe. Even some 2027 and 2028 kids like the Mollinger brothers from Wisconsin, and edge rusher Asher Gieto, I believe is how you pronounce it. I didn't hear his name called, so I apologize if I'm getting it wrong there. But they were raving about the energy, coaching, and culture that Cignetti built. Gieto felt like a priority, and quarterback Chris Miller said IU's on the top of his list of schools because of how they develop players. I mean, how could you not at this point? Coach Cignetti has showed every single stop he's going to develop you into an excellent quarterback time and time again. And as long as Cignetti is there, I believe you're going to have first-round talent quarterbacks coming out of Indiana, or at the very least draftable quarterbacks coming out of Indiana. Coach Cignetti praised Mendoza's poise and growth, saying he's barely scratched his potential despite coming from Cal and not having tons of early snaps growing up. The whole staff's accelerating the development, and after a payback win, remember, Wisconsin crushed them 83-20 back in 2010. It's clear Indiana's on the rise, Wisconsin's on the low. They've won 3 straight over the Badgers now. And with a bye before Purdue, they're poised to keep rolling. All in all, this was a team win, efficient offense, stifling defense, and a program that's got recruits excited for the future. Indiana's not just winning games, they're building something special. Comment below and give us your thoughts, and please do like and subscribe for more Indiana football content. This is a historic season for Indiana, and they might just end up being the best team in the nation, winning the national championship. Anybody who says it's not going to happen obviously has not been watching this team. We have been, and we know this is a legit national contender team, and we're going to be sure to update you along the way. Thanks for watching, and go Hoosiers.